Hello my lovely friends, and welcome back to another frugal video. Now, when it comes to a frugal lifestyle, you can actually end up saving quite a bit of money by shifting some simple lifestyle habits. And I understand that everyone at this point wants to save money, and for some of us, we don't want to end up short on funds later on in life. So we are doing everything we can right now to make sure we are relaxed in our retirement and don't have to scrimp and save just to get by. And if you're a regular on this channel, you will know that I love to share all the frugal living tips that have saved me thousands of pounds. But sometimes I do like to research on the extreme side of frugality. Well, let's just say there's some people who are doing a bit too much to save money. So if you're looking for extreme ways to save money, no need to look further. This is the video for you. In fact, you've likely seen these over-the-top penny-saving practices in action in TLC's show Cheapskates. And to me, sometimes the numbers just don't add up to the amount of effort that is being put in just to save a few pennies. But I did come across this article that listed 10 extreme frugal tips, and because we do love money-saving challenges, I thought I would share them with you, and in turn, you can tell me what you think about them. Tip number 1, extremely frugal people will never buy a full meal. They will just combine side dishes into full meals. So whenever they go out, instead of buying a starter and a main meal like most people, they will opt for a bargain meal that will consist solely of the side dishes. And like in some restaurants, if they don't allow them to do that, then they will rally up a friend and just use the friend's meal to buy 2 side dishes and eat them as a meal. Tip number 2, they wash their disposable silverware. Now, extremely frugal people don't think it's worthwhile getting actual silverware, and so they would rather go to a discount store like Poundland or Dollar Tree and purchase plastic disposable cutlery. But once they have used them, they don't throw them away. They wash them and then reuse them again and repeat the cycle for as long as they possibly can. And even when they have guests come over to their home, they simply stock up on these cheap plastic utensils in bulk, and they remind their guests that when they are done, they should not throw away these plastic cutlery. They should instead put them in the sink where they are going to wash them and store them and then reuse them in their next function. Now, personally, I think it's a good idea to reduce as much waste as possible. But if my understanding is correct, plastic degrades over time. And so disposable cutlery is only good for one-time use. And with that in mind, I think it's cheaper in the long run and safer to just buy silverware. You can actually get them pretty inexpensive in these discount stores, and they last much, much longer. Tip number 3, they reuse paper towels like they're actual towels. Now, paper towels can be inexpensive, but instead of throwing them out once they have been used, frugal people will wash them, hang them, and reuse them. So much so that they could actually end up turning their entire kitchen into a paper towel drying rack so that they can wash and reuse their paper towels. Now, whilst I think it's convenient to have paper towels and it's good practice to see if you can reuse your paper towels before you throw them away. Like for example, if I ever use paper towels, I like to reuse the ones that I use to dry my hands, to wipe my surfaces before I throw them away. However, I've learned that instead of using paper towels to clean your home, why not use old rags? And the beauty of this option is that once they get dirty, you can just throw them in the washing machine, wash them, and then reuse them again, and they last a whole lot longer than paper towels. Tip number 4, you delay doing laundry until the very last minute. Now, I personally think it's a good idea to schedule your laundry day and have a plan of how and when you'll be washing your clothes so that you can reduce the amount of water and electricity you are using when it comes to your washing machines and dryers. But if you are extremely frugal, you will make sure you take this to the next level, and you may opt to only wash your clothes once a month, and instead of putting them in the washing machine, you just wash them by hand using your bath water. Personally, I couldn't do this, but let me know in the comments below if you think this is a good idea. Tip number 5, you only have one light bulb at a time. Being frugal is all about being intentional about how you spend your money. And for the most part on this channel, I've talked a lot about making sure you are not wasting electricity by leaving lights on in other rooms or leaving your electronics plugged into your sockets when they're not being used. But of course, when it comes to extreme frugality, you have to take it a step further. So instead of just switching off lights when you leave the room, how about only having one light bulb in your entire house that you switch between all your rooms? That means you can only switch on the light in the room you are currently occupying. And that way, you are not wasting electricity and you are saving yourself a lot of money. Let me know if you could do this. Tip number 6, you never throw away your socks. Extremely frugal people do not buy additional socks. And that's because why buy a pair of socks when a few stitches can extend the life of the ones that you already have? Sure, it's easy to repair a hole, but when one hole becomes 3, 5, 10, you can find yourself with socks that look like patchwork. And if this is the case, you always hope and pray that someone doesn't ask you to take your shoes off when you enter their home. And although this is deemed as an extremely frugal practice, I actually like this one. When it comes to the socks that you would wear in the comfort of your own home, I think it's a great idea to repair them. And who cares if they look like Frankenstein's monster? They're still functional and work well. But what I would suggest is maybe just have a couple of pairs available for when you are outside your home to save yourself a whole heap of embarrassment. Tip number 7, they never splurge on birthdays. For many people, including myself, my birthday is the one day where I give myself the allowance to splurge on things that I really like or things that I really want. And so this can be an expensive gift, dinner at a Michelin restaurant, and so forth. But if you're extremely frugal, you use every opportunity to cut down costs and save money, even on special occasions like your birthday. So even when it comes to things like your birthday cake, why spend money on candles? You don't have to do that. You opt to reuse old candles of varying heights on a cheap birthday cake. You also take advantage of all the free stuff you can get on your birthday because there's so many places out there that are willing to give free stuff out on people's birthday. And so you use this as an opportunity to totally cash in. And all you have to do is just Google places that give you free food on your birthday and you will no doubt find a huge list. And so you can start plotting on the amount of savings there can be had. Tip number 8, they freeze their credit cards. And when I mean they freeze their credit cards, I mean they literally freeze their credit cards in a chunk of frozen water in their freezers. Now, it used to be that you freeze your cards as an extreme option that would allow you to have your credit cards on hand, but makes it really hard to access them. And some people use this because they see it as an extreme measure that will be beneficial for them if they want to remove easy access to spending and allow them to focus on paying off their balance before they use them. But for me, I think it's best to cut up your credit cards because I tend to know the number of my cards in my head. And so the only time it would ever stop me from using one would be if I literally have to swipe it. Let me know if freezing your credit cards is an option that works for you, as I'm really interested to know what impact it has on reducing your spending. Tip number 9, they put a brick in to save money on their water bills. Have you ever heard of the old brick in the toilet trick? This is simply when you put a brick or a large object on the back of your toilet tank to save on water consumption. And the saying is that by doing this, you actually end up saving a lot of money on the amount of water you use to flush the toilet. Now, I think this is a great idea. It's something worth trying, but make sure you always consult a plumber before you do anything to do with water in your home. Tip number 10, they save rainwater. Now, rainwater is the sky's free gift to you. And if you live in the UK, I'm pretty sure you can fill up liters and liters of water over a short period of time. One way to save on your water bills could be to get a rain barrel set up in your home and start collecting and using rainwater, as it is a free resource, especially when it comes to things like maintaining green grass, because you have to constantly water them. So you could actually end up saving a huge sum of money if you reuse rainwater instead. So it may be worth finding out if fitting a barrel is relatively inexpensive and can save you money in the long run. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. And whilst you are there, make sure to comment below what is your favorite extreme frugal living tip that I've mentioned in the video today. Also, please feel free to share a tip that you have found useful that could save us all some money. After all, we are all looking for good money saving tips. Don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe so that you don't miss any future uploads, as I'm sharing my journey to financial freedom and early retirement. And of course, if you are looking for free money, make sure to hit that Trading 212 link, because if you deposit £1, you could get a free share that's worth up to £100. That's 99 free pounds. Also, don't forget to check out these videos, which will show you all the financial tips I'm currently implementing in my life that have saved me thousands of pounds. Thank you so much for all your support, and I will see you in the comments down below, and of course in the next video. Have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.